Hey guys, I am back with another chat video for you today, and I will tell you a little sneaky thing. I'm filming on Thursday today instead of my usual Saturday, and one of the reasons why I have something planned on Saturday that I may end up vlogging, I may not, I'm not promising, but I was going to do that instead of film, so I was like, well, let me film Thursday instead, so it just happened to work out this week for me to do that. So anyway, how have you guys been doing this week? I'm still wearing the contacts. In fact, I filmed half of another video just right before this one, and then another video with my contacts in. This is my third time to wear them, and I must say I am getting more used to wearing them. They're not bothering me as much. And let me see, oh, I have my phone back here. Let's see what time it is, and I'll tell you how long I've been wearing them. It's almost 12 o'clock, so just about 4 hours. So this is the longest that I have worn them. I'm a little disappointed that I still haven't received the daily pair in yet. It's been, since today's Thursday, I went Monday, not this past Monday, but Monday the week ago, so it's been well over a week and a half, and I was told they were going to order me a daily pair to try out. Then if I made my decision to go ahead and order them, I could tell them, do I want the 2-week pair that I've got in now, do I want the daily pair, or just none at all? So I really don't want to make a decision and place any orders until I try those daily ones out, and I just don't know when they're coming in. The only, I guess you could say, 2 negatives for me personally with this particular contacts that I've got in, I still feel them, but it's no more than I normally feel with my dry eyes, if that makes any sense. I've got dry eyes. I pretty much feel it every day of my life, and it just feels like they're dry. And I don't think I can see as well with as I can with my glasses on. I'm not 100% that is true. It could be just me trying to get used to them, and the curvature of the lens may not be the same as my glasses. So I feel like it takes me just a couple of seconds longer to focus in on something. So that's really my only 2 negatives. At this point, I do think I want to order them, but I really want the daily ones. I've heard great reviews. Nikki has told me she loves her daily ones, and I want those because I feel like it's less waste, because I'm pretty much just going to wear them maybe once or twice a week. I'm going to wear my glasses the other amounts of time, because I do spend a lot of time looking at a computer, and I just don't want to be looking at a computer all day with contacts in. I just don't think that's good. So I will keep you updated on that. I am getting less self-conscious, is that the right phrase, about wearing them. When I first filmed, I was just like, oh, I just don't want anybody to see me in these because I'm uncomfortable. I have gotten much more comfortable today with them on, so that is good. And I do want to say a great big thank you to every single one of you who left me just lovely comments about it. I really appreciate it, because I was very uncomfortable, self-conscious about it. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on past that. I've only sold 1 eBay item this week, which I'm happy to sell. I love it when things go out the door and find a new home. Love it, love it, love it. I do want some more stuff to sell, so hopefully I will get more stuff. I've got a few things to show you today. They are back behind me as where I tend to keep stuff. My empties for the week, I've got a couple of things right here. I have gone through so many bottles of these. This is nothing unusual for me. My eye doctor is the one that recommended these Refresh Optive. He says go for the Optive. I don't know what the difference is, but it's a lubricant eye drop, and I love this brand. I do use the thicker, it's almost like, it looks like Vaseline, but it's not. I use those at night, and they're great as well. Then this is my other empty for the week. It's the Elizabeth Arden Fragrance-Free 8-Hour Cream. It's a skin protectant. I pretty much only use it for as a lip balm. I do get really dry hands in the winter, and I have put it on my hands, and it's just not something I want to put on my hands all the time, because it is kind of greasy, and I don't want to get it on stuff, but I love it as a lip balm. It's one of my favorite lip balms to use, and I will continue to buy that. Another thing that I want to show you, This is nothing new. It's a bottle of water. It's a bottle of Evian water. And I don't recall ever trying Evian before this past week, which may seem odd. I just don't remember. If I have, I don't recollect any memory. I don't have any memory. But I was talking to a lady about bottled water. And I will tell you, I will buy a lot of these bottles and then I just end up refilling them with tap water. I will use them till they kind of get disgusting and then I throw them away and buy some more. So most of the time if I'm drinking a bottle of water, it's tap water because I've refilled it, because I just believe in reusing the bottles. And I 100% get it that it would be better to buy one of those glass bottles and just end up refilling them. I can't remember the name of them, but they're pretty popular. It's they've got like a rubber coating on the outside and you get them in all different colors. I've seen them at Nordstrom. And anyway, back to this particular bottle. So I was having a conversation about bottled water and we were talking about what our favorites were, and I was telling her that Fuji was my favorite, and she's like, oh, I love Fuji too, but she says Evian is my favorite. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. So I ended up getting a pack of these at Target on sale, and then I tried it, and I've got to tell you, I was amazed at how good this water tastes. It was a pleasure to drink Evian water. It was fabulous. I love it when it's almost just ice cold. It was one of the most refreshing bottles of water that I have ever tasted in my life, and I'm like, I am convinced Evian has the best water. So when I buy water now, it's probably going to be that I will refill the bottles and just drink tap water, because it does get expensive, and it's just, you know, I just like to not pay as much for those at a time, but they are a pleasure to drink. So I will tell you, if you're someone who is trying to get off of sodas and drink more water, I would say give Evian a try. I think it's awesome. Another thing I wanted to talk about is this thing right here, black elderberry syrup. I don't know if you guys know anything about this. I have just started hearing about it, another thing this week, and decided to go buy me a bottle of this. You can make it as well. There's recipes online, but I was like, I'm going to have to order a lot of supplies to make that syrup. I'm just going to go to Whole Foods and buy it. The Whole Foods in Nashville, so there's the Whole Foods grocery store, and then right just across the street from them is like another Whole Foods store, but it doesn't have groceries in it. It's got skincare, shampoos, conditioners, clothing in it, vitamins. It's like it's one of those type stores, like a GNC on steroids, if you know what I mean. So I went in there and I said, do you have elderberry syrup? And she's like, we absolutely do. So where I first started hearing about these, it was somebody on Facebook, and they were talking about not getting the flu vaccination and taking elderberry syrup instead, and she was making her own. So first of all, let me digress a little bit about the flu vaccination. I do not want to get into an argument about it one way or the other. I will tell you my story, and then I think I'm going to go back to that. So forgive me for digressing. For years, I was against getting the flu shot. I was just not for it. I've heard of those horrible, what is that disease you can get, or it paralyzes all of your muscles and you can't move. It is extremely rare to get that. I realize it, but I was like, on the off chance that that is going to happen, I'm not getting the flu shot. And I was just like, there is different minds, or people are of different minds whether you can actually get the flu from getting the flu shot. I've heard arguments for and against it. So I was just like, no. And then also it only protects you against one strain, and there's many different strains. So I was just very much against it. I'm not against vaccinations in general, but this particular one I was like, I'm not getting it. And then about 5 years or so ago, I got the flu. And it was bad. I don't think I've ever had it before or since in my life. And it was horrific. And then on top of that, the virus settled in my thyroid, which is about right here. And I went through some very stressful couple weeks during that viral thyroiditis. I wasn't worried about that, but my doctor didn't know immediately what was wrong with my thyroid. I went and had an ultrasound done, and I got a call on a Friday night that I had a nodule on my thyroid. And so they set me up with an endocrinologist to go see, and he did another ultrasound. It turns out I do not have a nodule on it. Just when the ultrasound technician was doing it, apparently the way I think they called them like slices of photos, or how the photo got shown, or the ultrasound, it cut it off in a way that the radiologist who was reading the first ultrasound, it said it looked like a nodule. It turned out when the endocrinologist did the ultrasound himself, he looked and looked and looked. Turns out I've got another, I think he said you have an extra phalange on your thyroid, so it kind of looks like a butterfly, and I've got like a little extra piece on there that's not a nodule. So it turned out everything was fine, and of everything that could have gone wrong with my thyroid, viral thyroiditis was the one thing you would want to happen if something was going to go wrong, because it just goes away after a little while. But it's also the more rare thing to get a virus settling in it. And also viruses can settle in other organs. They can settle in your heart. I've heard of that. It's rare, but it can happen. A flu virus could settle in your heart. So after that episode with me, I 100% became for getting the flu vaccination. I have not gotten the flu since. I've never had it before or since that one time. So every year thereafter, I have gotten the flu vaccination, and my doctor recommends it. So I'm not going to get on the argument train whether you should get it or not. You have to make the choice yourself whether you get it or not. I can't make that for you. Back to this syrup right here. I was watching this lady's Facebook live video, and she was telling people how to make this, and she was going through the story that she refuses to get the flu vaccination, and that her husband gets the flu vaccine every year, and he gets the flu every year. She doesn't get it and takes elderberry syrup that she makes, and she doesn't get the flu. So I did a little bit of research, and this stuff is pretty potent antioxidant. The research that I was reading was talking about it can fend off colds, the flus, it helps with allergies, it can actually help fight cancer. I don't know how much of all this is true. I just did a little bit of research. Let's see, it also said it helped with diabetes. So do your research yourself. So I went out to Whole Foods today and grabbed some of this stuff. I didn't grab it, I paid for it. And I was talking to the lady there, and this was the one she recommended the most. She said it's more concentrated. It doesn't taste as good as another brand that they had, but it was more potent. And this is GAIA Herbs is the brand. It says Rapid Relief Black Elderberry Syrup. It's USDA organic. It's highly concentrated immune support. Best-selling formula, rich in whole food vitamin C. And this was about, how much was this one? Just under $20, and it's 3 ounces. And it's about 20 calories a serving, 4 carbs, and 4 grams of sugars. If you're interested, it's got 13 milligrams of vitamin C. It's got 1,902 milligrams of black elderberry fruit juice concentrate, and another kind of dried fruit I've never heard of. It's got 147 milligrams of those things. So it says suggested uses: 1 teaspoon daily for adults, and then they're on for children. So here's what it looks like. It is super thick, and I've got to tell you, at first, I'm one of those people that has a huge gag reflex for cough medicines, NyQuil. I will almost, this is going to sound gross, but I can almost feel like the vomit coming up at the thought of drinking NyQuil. I hate it. And so I ended up thinking that this was going to be like that, and so I almost started gagging. This is TMI, I'm sorry guys, but I almost started gagging before taking this, and then I tasted it, and it was like, that's actually really good. It tasted amazing, and I'm like, oh, I could definitely take a lot of this. So that's one of the reasons I got it. So I still plan on getting my flu shots, but I feel like my allergies, especially just right in here, I feel like I was on the verge of getting a cold or sinus infection, and I'm thinking, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and get that, take it for a few days. The lady at Whole Foods says, at the slightest twinge that you think you're getting something, take it. Or if she said, she said, if my partner gets sick, I take it. She said, or if I send my kids to school, like at the very beginning of school, she said, I give it to my kids, and she said, I take it as well. So, you know, or I've heard other people say they will take it on a trip. I was reading about that. Take it several days before you go on a trip, like get on an airplane, and it just kind of wards off viruses and allergies and colds and sinuses, the flu, things like that. So anyway, and it's also got a lot of antioxidants in it. So that was a long rant and story about that. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. Let me know if you have any experience with it. Anyway, I got both puppies in my lap. I'm trying to think, was there anything else I was going to chat with you about today? I don't think there was. So I've got both puppies. Oh, I was going to say, they were doing great after Chanel's hives last week. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they were both doing great. They both been playing. Monday morning, we get up and I'm getting ready, or I'm getting dressed, and I hear a noise that I have never in my life heard before. I'm like, I've got to go investigate this noise. So I got up, I opened my door, and Coco was right outside my door puking. And I'm like, girls, if it's not one of you, it's the other one. She was just fine the next day. I don't know what was wrong. Puppies do that sometimes. She's done it before. Chanel's done it before. But I feel like if it's not one of them, it's the other. So I've got both of them curled up in my lap because they were barking their heads off at the chipmunk outside. That chipmunk is eating well. I don't know what it is eating out there, but it is a plump chipmunk. So I just picked Coco up, and Chanel got comfortable. She's like, oh, thanks, Mom, for moving Sissy, because now I can get more comfortable. But Coco is doing well, so they have had a great week other than Monday. Everything is going well for the puppies. Oh, you just got to see Coco yawn. It's their nap time, and let me grab Chanel really quick, then I'm going to put them back to bed. But they've been sitting in my lap for the past 2 videos that I've filmed, and they were getting a little heavy. So here is Chanel. She has still got a little bit of the bump right there, if you guys can see her hair sticking up. It has gotten way smaller. I do feel like it was filled with fluid, and that stuff is drying up. So other than that, the itching has pretty much all stopped. They just do their normal doggy scratching and shaking, but thank goodness, poor thing was suffering last week. So she's doing so much better, and right now they're doing well. Nobody's been sick since Monday, and I'm like, we're having a good rest of the week. So I'm going to go ahead and end this chat video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys later. And if you want to, let me know how your week is going, or if you want to make any comments on any other thing I suggested, I would love to hear from you guys. Bye, everybody.